Hi, I'm Joanna and I'm an illustrator. Today I'm sharing a tutorial on how to render braids. For this tutorial I used Copic marker, a 2H pencil, colored pencils, and 2 types of erasers. I'm starting out with a rough pencil sketch of a very simple braid. Once I'm done my pencil sketch, I can go ahead and start adding color. I start with my lightest shade of skin tone first, and then move on to the darker shade to add definition and shadow. Now we can start filling in the hair color. I start with E34, working from the crown of her head, and start dividing the hair into sections. You want the darkest sections to be where the shadows are, at the crown of her head and at the base where the hair starts to turn into a braid. Each section of braid gets its own little shadow and highlight. I use the same color marker and go over with multiple coats to create the shadows. Notice that the darkest part of the braid is where one section overlaps another. Then using Copic marker number E53, I'll go ahead and fill in some of the white space. This is my favorite marker for blonde hair colors. The next step is adding even more shadow with E35. I focus on adding shadow in between each braid section, also going back and adding a few more shadows to the crown of her head and to the base where the braid starts. I'll use my lighter 2 shades of hair color and go back and start blending in some of those lines. The next step is to use a white colored pencil and add highlight. I like to add highlight in the middle of her head, at the top of the crown, and at each section of braid, usually somewhere around the middle. To keep the highlight from looking too obvious, sometimes I'll go back over with an eraser and soften it a bit. And the last step is to go around each section of hair with a dark brown colored pencil. I like to add individual strands at this point and just use it to add detail and definition. And a finishing touch to keep the lines from looking too stark, I'll just go over with my kneaded eraser and soften them all a little bit. That's my favorite way to illustrate braids. If you've liked this tutorial, be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel and let me know what other tutorials you'd like to see. Thanks for watching!